Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 95.
Getting up there.
Yeah, when we first started this, if you had told me that we
I would have laughed in your
we would have
face.
recorded, we would have done this 95 times. Yeah.
For almost 2 years now. We're still meeting every Sunday at my house to record.
It's so fun. I think we started it. We didn't start on a Sunday though. I think we started on a Saturday.
I think
Friday.
we did the first time. I was like, here, have a glass of wine. You want to go record a podcast?
Welcome back, any of you who have put up with us 94 times before, or any lesser number thereof, and welcome anyone new.
It's January 29th, 2012. And, so we kind of have a lot going on. A fun-filled, packed adventure today.
Yep.
I just want to point out how awesome Pinterest is. see how some of my pretty hair? Here, I'm going to show you. See my pretty hair?
Uh-huh.
It's a sock bun. You cut the toe out of a sock, and then you put your hair in a ponytail, and you put your hair in, and you twist it. There's a video online, a YouTube video. It's so easy, and it doesn't go anywhere. Like, my hair is heavy, and there's nothing in there holding it besides a sock. Isn't that fancy?
It is fancy. So it's just a tube.
It's a tube. It's a circle like a donut.
So you could just knit a tube.
Well, you could, or you could just take an old sock that doesn't have a mate, because
Well, I was
everybody's
just
got a sock
thinking you
without
could
a mate.
cast on, and just go, that far and do it, right?
Yeah.
Or do you need, the
Well,
whole
you need
length?
a little bit of bulk, because you need something to wrap your hair around. We've diverted already, and it's totally my fault.
Well, you brought up socks,
But
and then
look,
immediately
it's
I
so
thought
cute.
knitting.
I love
It is cute. It looks. See, you can't do that with my hair.
Well,
I feel like
yeah, it's probably a little short for
No.
that, but
it'll grow.
my hair's not cute and red like yours is either.
So I tried dyeing my hair, and we were totally diverting.
Yeah.
And the red stayed, and nothing else changed. It was very
That
distracting.
henna is like, I'm not going nowhere.
Nowhere.
So, hi, I'm Leslie,
I'm
also
Laura.
known as You Don't
Oh,
Call Me Les.
Gosh,
You're so
off.
interrupty.
I know. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
And, so I'll start. Works in progress. I have two. The first one is socks for me. I'm just kind of designing on the fly. It's real simple. I am going to write it up because I've decided to not keep these for myself. And so once I've sent them off to their recipient, I'm going to post the pattern. It'll be a free pattern because it's not rocket science, but it is cute, I thought. So this is how far I am on the second sock. This is the first one. So I still have about 1.5 inches before I start the heel. And I haven't worked on this a ton this week. I worked on it at lunch a couple days, and
We went out to dinner last night.
yeah, we went out to dinner last night. And had
After you
sushi.
left it on the roof of the car, and we had to go back.
So Laura came to my house last night. We were going to have dinner after she taught 2 spinning classes back to back.
Uh-huh.
And I had to clean out the back of my car because, I collect stuff. And
You had jackets
my winter
back there.
jackets were in the back of the car. It hasn't been cold enough to wear them lately. And I had to get them out and put them in the trunk. So I put my knitting bag on top of the car and then went to the back seat and got everything out and put it in the trunk. And forgot that I had this on the top of the car until we were about a mile down the road. And I was like...
More than that, because we went all the way to McDonald's. Yeah, we made several turns.
We didn't eat at McDonald's. We stopped
No.
there to check on the top of the roof if it's still there, and I'll, vain hope. And I was like, it's okay, I'll get it when I get back. And I was like, no.
We're going to go back now.
And it ended up being right outside my driveway.
It was in the middle of the road outside her driveway.
So
But I would have worried about
rescued.
it all night long. I would have.
But, and I'm glad because I would have hate to have my yarn ruined. This is Nama Nama in her usual base, and this was a special colorway that she dyed for me. I don't know whether she sells this colorway or not. I don't know if she ever named it. And so this is as far as I've gotten this week on this, and it's on 2.25s, US ones. And the pole sweater is now... The body of it is complete, so...
It is much larger than before.
Yeah.
I like how that's really cool.
I have had a couple knots in the yarn. I kind of expect it because it's a single ply yarn. And I seamed it up. Let's see if I can figure out where I seamed it up because I actually did a pretty decent job of seaming it. Right along this line here. And so now what I have to do, and I did try it on, I haven't blocked it yet, obviously, it's still curling like crazy on the sides. And this is out of Barocco Boboli, which is a wool acrylic blend. I am going to knit around the edges and do a little bit of a beaded edge to give it some weight and hold it straight since it's stockinette. And then I have to do the sleeves as well. God, picking up around the edge of this is going to be a pain. But I do have to knit the sleeves as well. I'm probably going to do them both at the same time.
That'll be nice because you can add some length to it if you want. You tried it
on.
I'll
have
is it
plenty.
Long enough? Okay.
Well, it's a little bit short in the back, but it also is curling under. It hasn't been blocked at all, so it'll be fine once it's blocked. And I still have to do the sleeves. But the body of it is done. It's got all these little short row, stretchy, flouncy parts in it. So that's cool. It'll be too warm to wear it by the time I'm ready to wear it, but that's okay.
No,
I'll take it to Rhinebeck.
If you get it done in February, we always tend to get like maybe a snowstorm in early March. Maybe.
So those
we
are my
haven't
two
had any snow this year.
works on the needles, and I kind of thought I was getting ready to go out this morning. Michael had to go every weekend. We have to go to Lowe's for something, right? And so we have this giant fish tank in the house. It's well, we've got two. One's a 75 gallon and one's a 225 gallon, which is friggin' enormous.
It's massive. But it's really cool.
It is. It's pretty. But it requires its own, like, filtration system, and none of the pre-made stuff is good enough, right? Michael had to do this whole sump system underneath. It's all custom made. And so he's always trying to find a way to improve it. And it's like, it's, you know, connected into our water system so it can refill and empty and crazy stuff. Anyway, so he's always having to go and get little doodads to improve it. And, I got paint for my bathroom because my bathroom is the same horrid orange that my kitchen is.
It's like it's terracotta orange.
It's pretty awful. Like, in little pieces it's not bad, but when it's on your walls, it's pretty terrible. So I'm going to start
I was looking around because I have orange fiber, but nothing is the color of your...
It's pretty... Well, it's kind of like the orange in this. Kind of like that orange right there. It's... pretty terrible.
And your kitchen's in that, and the bathroom. And
most of the rooms except from the living room downstairs are that color. So anyhow, we went to Lowe's and I was getting dressed. That's how this whole story started. And I was going to put on my Uni Jang Deep V Argyle vest that I made before we started podcasting. And it's kind of sad because I really love the silhouette of that vest, but because I'm so endowed up here, it like, instead of it being flattering and kind of coming right down the V line, it goes way outside, and it just kind of like, it's like, hello, you know.
Yeah.
It's not flattering at all. And so I'm going to probably give that away, but I really want to knit another one of those because it's such a pretty
I have a pattern for an Ivy League vest that she did.
Oh, really?
In the DVD. Mm-hmm.
I'll have to look
It was
at
an
that.
interweave DVD thing.
Anyhow, what do you have on the needles?
I have my Lar, which is in the Shetland Trader book by
Gundren
Johnson. Mm-hmm. And it is in my old 3 a.m. bag because it's... Let me get this.
She doesn't make bags anymore. We link you to her.
It's this big, huge cake of yarn.
It's a nice canvas bag, though.
Yeah, I love the bag, for sure. And you can actually put your needles on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. I wish more people would do bags like this. Anyway, it's great for sweaters, so it doesn't get in lace. It was originally called Emily Lace Bag.
Yep.
So a whole whopping, like 4 rows in.
It's so pretty, though. So
it's going to be really pretty, but it's just not portable, so it's my... Hey, I'm watching a podcast, I'm going to knit on it. And it's taking around an hour to do 2 rows. So it's not like super fast, but I did put markers every 100 stitches. And my cast on was around 300 and some stitches.
Yeah, I remember.
Almost 400.
So this is Volmai's lace in the, corn bloom?
Corn bloom.
Isn't it beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
It's such a vibrant blue.
And it's almost 2,000 yards. It's 1722.
Is that one what yours was?
Yeah.
That must have been a light skein. She normally does 1740 something.
Yeah.
Or it might have changed since the last time I bought Volmai's, which has been a while.
But I'm enjoying knitting with it. I'm enjoying the process of it. It's definitely going to be a stay-at-home kind of chill. And I'm knitting the bottom. It calls for it to be a cardigan. I forgot the book, y'all. I'll show it. We'll link it in the show notes. It's the cover sweater of the Shetland Trader book. It's like in a yellowy color.
Right.
It's meant to be a cardigan. I'm doing a Henley.
Is it meant to be a cardigan?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a Henley.
No,
Maybe
it's a
just
cardigan.
because you said Henley and then I got stuck in
It's
my
a
thought.
cardigan, and I'm doing it as a Henley. So I am knitting the garter stitch of the border flat on size 2 needles.
Because nobody wants to purl across 300 and something stitches.
No, well, I don't. And then I'm just going to seam up that inch or so once I move up to my size 4 needles and start knitting it in the round. So and that'll give me a little heft when I go to join it in the round. It'll be easier to see if it's flipped up or not.
It has a garter border and then
it has a garter
panel
It's
under the
supposed to
bust.
have a picot edge.
Yeah.
And then the garter border, I'm not doing picot. So they're just not flattering on my body type. I don't know.
I'm not a fan of picot myself, but you know.
I like it on little
self.
accessories. I think it's super cute. And on shawls. It's super cute on shawls. But anyway, Lar, Shetland Trader Book. Gundin Johnson's the designer's name. I'm using size 2, it's actually 2.5 in the US. So.
2.5 is a 1.5 needle.
No, there's a 2.5. It's in between our 2s and 3s.
Oh, US 2.5. Okay,
US
sorry.
2.5.
I thought you meant 2.5 millimeter.
No.
I think that's a 3.0 millimeter because a
think
size
so.
3 is a 3.25 millimeter.
I meant to put the.
I'm pretty sure it's a 3.0 millimeter.
Okay. I meant to put the little Addy Turbo because I'm using Addy Turbo lace packets in there, but I didn't.
And that's all you're working on right now.
That's it because I finished all 8 classes for Hogwarts, and the new semester starts on Tuesday.
Does anybody remember how she said she was only going to do one a month? Because I do.
So I got all 8 done.
But if you can fit it in, then you know what?
Well, I'm
Good for
already
you.
doing the projects, so it's just
Finding a way to
thing.
make it work for your class, yeah.
Yep, and I actually still have to post 6 of them, so I took pictures yesterday. I just need to get them done. So that's it for me. I'm waiting till Tuesday to cast on new stuff.
Because Tuesday's the start of the next Hogwarts term.
Well, Wednesday is because
the 1st of February, right?
1st of February. Okay, I finished the Steeler socks.
Yay!
Yay!
You're working
So
on
those
last
are my
night.
Lollipop yarns, Bumblebee colorway, on size 1.5, 2.5 millimeters.
Mm-hmm.
Afterthought heel.
Do they match? They do.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So, well, there's a little bit more black on this bind off than that bind off, but it all works out. And they fit nice. I actually dropped a stitch, and I typically, when I was over here, because picking up black at night was not my finest.
Yeah, and my living room isn't like really well lit anyway.
Well, when I went to pick up the other heel this morning, I was like, I'm never choosing a black stripe to divide again because it is not fun. But I dropped a stitch and
that's probably
picked it back
words of wisdom from Laura of the Knit Girls. Don't put in afterthought waste yarn in a black stripe.
And I have this much yarn left over, so I'm going to have to do some Steeler socks or, you said baby leg warmers.
I think they'd be fun for baby leg warmers. I think baby Alice needs some Steelers leg
baby
warmers.
leg warmers. It's like almost a baseball size chunk left over, so that's quite awesome.
It's good to know she's generous with her yardage.
I think it's 420 yards is what it says, but
that's cool.
For some reason I did not.
And that's Lollipop, right?
That's Lollipop, who updates on Sundays. And your couch is getting wet because damp.
It's just water.
Because I washed and went to block the shrug bug this morning, but it's still damp.
Turns out when you have really thick yarn, it takes a long time to dry.
So it's really heavy, but this is shrug bug.
Super cute.
And my only modifications, I'll show you all the pattern since it's super wet. And it smells of soak. The only modifications I made, I haven't sewn on the button yet, is that I cast on, when you do the underarm, it doesn't call for you to cast on more stitches to kind of like close that gap. So I cast on 2, I think, and or 4, and then when I went to do the sleeves, I picked those up.
Yeah.
And just decreased them the next couple rounds, like every 3 rounds I decreased 2. So that was it. It was a great fun knit. I knit on it when I was in my tornado closet last Sunday, and then just finished the sleeves this morning. So very cute, and I hope the person who gets it enjoys it.
I'm pretty sure that she will.
I hope so. But yeah, it was fun. I highly recommend the Gina Bonomo patterns. That person right there.
Somebody else, a couple people commented on our last episode that they had that whole collection and they were full of really great knits.
Yep, there's some cute stuff there.
We like hearing comments like that.
Oh, and I'm wearing a FF.
She's like,
I know there's something else. I didn't look at the show notes. I'm wearing my trail jacket by Hannah Fettig. So you can see how long I made the sleeves.
I think it came out nicely.
And
I like that
there's just 2 buttons at the top because I forgot to add buttonholes for the rest of it.
Meant to be that way. Design feature.
Well, it's better because these buttons were like $11 a piece, and they were from Joann's. I used a coupon, but still $11. That's almost as much as the 2 skeins of yarn.
Yeah.
So it's out of Eco Plus, when Eco Plus was like $15 a skein.
Yeah.
Those were the good old days.
But I like that because the collar in the pattern kind of stands up more. It's more, yeah. So, but I like how you modded the pattern to have it lay flatter.
Yep, those were my 2 main mods. Was I forgot buttonholes, and then I decreased some on the collar, like every 3 rows or so. I decreased 7 stitches. Thank you. It was supposed to be my like hang out around the house sweater.
I think it'll look nice with like khaki slacks and a white undershirt. You can wear it to work.
Maybe.
I like it.
Yeah. It might go on my throw on the back of my chair at work.
Yeah.
Sweater when it's cold.
Yeah.
Just a layering piece. But yeah, I actually really like it. I'm very happy how it turned out, and it was all stash yarn.
2 skeins?
Less than 2 skeins of Cascade Eco Plus.
Make one of those with, because I've got 2 skeins of Eco Plus too. Actually, I've got 2 colorways of 2 skeins, so 4 altogether. So you finished a lot this week.
Well, this was the week before, but the button sewing on was today.
Yeah.
That's all this, and the finish of the blocking.
Did you put your shrug bug on your sweater dryer?
I did.
But it's still...
You would think it would. I actually put it on around 9 o'clock this morning, and it's almost 4 o'clock our time now. And just waited and waited and waited, and I actually thought about I have a little space heater.
Yeah.
And putting that, but then I was like, something horrible will happen. I've learned to carry.
It'll be like Final Destination, like one little spark will go and the whole thing will be in flames.
So... Yep, I decided not to do that. But that's it for me for FOs. The pair of socks, the shrug bug, and then my trail jacket sweater.
Yeah, I really like that.
Thank you. You don't have any FOs, correct?
No, I don't have any FOs.
I wasn't being snarky. I was just saying.
I don't, no.
But you do have spinning.
I do, and I'm trying to find it. Here it is. I started the, massive pile of stuff over here. Our room is a little cleaner than the clip I showed you guys last week. I spent about an hour up here before Laura got here cleaning, rearranging. I have a pile, like I won't put any of my purchased yarn or fiber into my bins, where I keep everything, until I've photographed it and put it in Ravelry. And that means I have a lot of crap that's just sitting in a pile by my bookshelf, but I've kind of organized a little bit.
I stole your light box.
Yeah, you did, which is fine because it's not like I need it. But
I'm putting that on my birthday wish list.
I've got a bunch of fabric now since I kind of started sewing. Oh, and I found a genius idea on Pinterest, which...
You found something on Pinterest?
I know, right?
Really?
Which, by the way, I love when somebody follows me because I get like an email once a day that says, so-and-so started following you. And the other day I got like 63 people started following me. And when you follow me, I have to go to your boards and look at every single thing that you've pinned and then pin what I want and then follow what boards I want. So I haven't got a lot of work done this week. But, that's why I don't have a finished object blank Pinterest.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I was going to say...
That's why I'm not on Pinterest.
You know the log cabin blankets that you've made, the knitted ones? So I guess the idea kind of originated with sewing.
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
No.
And I saw, like, it's really simple. And all it is strips sewn together. And I was like, I can do that. Like, do 3 strips a week or something. And then have my own quilt. That'd be so awesome. Anyhow.
There you go.
Oh, deviation.
You found that on Pinterest?
No. I think that there should be a drinking game. Every time I say the word Pinterest, there's a shot. So I started spinning the braid that the braid that Karen dyed when we were at Tempted's, Stacy's house in summer of last year, whenever that was. Was it summer? No. It was like, cold.
No, it wasn't cold, but it might have been September. It might have been...
Last fall, whenever we were there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is probably 3.5 ounces worth of it. I just started on the really light colored end, and I just have, there it is. So I'm spinning it thin. I was going to try to get it thinner, but the fiber, because it's a blend with merino, it doesn't want to spin like super duper thin. But it is still spinning pretty thin. I put it against my gauge and it's at like 36 wraps per inch right now. So when I Navajo ply it on itself, it should be a probably heavy fingering weight if I continue to keep it this thin. I'm really having to pay attention to keep it consistent, not just thin, but consistent.
Did you pre-draft it at all?
I am. I'm pre-drafting it like crazy. Because what I'm doing to try to keep the colors together is I'll tear off a little chunk, like maybe this much, and then I'll draft it into strips.
So you're doing like a little bit more than a staple length.
Yeah.
And then draft it and just tearing it
because
into
I don't want to
strips.
I want to keep it the color gradients consistent. So I'm trying to keep it in blocks of the same color density.
I was thinking about doing that with the one that I have, the Dino Park that I got from Cloud Lover. Kind of decided yesterday that I wanted to spin that. But
well, I started last night.
That's
Kobe, after Laura left, Kobe wanted to watch Monster House.
I've never seen that. Is it good?
It's kind of scary for a kid's movie. I mean, it's not anything that's
Does the Monster House eat them?
It tries. I mean,
Really?
it's really well rendered, the drawn, whatever. But it's kind of scary for a kid's movie. And I was like, Kobe, a couple times, he was over there, like, he's chewing his fingernails, and he's just like, oh, you know, and a couple times he jumps, and he's like, that scared me, Mama.
You should tell people how old Kobe is in case they're new.
8. He'll be 9 in March, so.
Pretty soon.
He's a good kid. What have you been spinning?
I finished the first third of Touch Me, because it was almost done. So this is Crown Mountain Farms in the Touch Me colorway.
That is like frog hair thin. I'm so envious of how thin that is.
I'm so excited about this. So I'm going to start the second third.
That's just
tomorrow.
a third of 4 ounces.
Of 8 ounces.
Oh, of 8 ounces. Okay.
So this is a third of 8 ounces. And then I have 2 more to go, and then I'm going to 3-ply it together. And I'm probably going to just fill 1 bobbin, and then I'm hoping to get enough for 2 sets of sock yarn out of it. Like
you can
800
use the bulky
yards.
flyer and
Yeah, I could. I'm okay with it. If I get like 400 yards, though, I'm okay with snipping it there. And
I'm just saying, if you don't want to.
Yeah, I might steal the bulky flyer because I'm almost done with my loop bat.
Oh, and that's
just started the
5.6
blue,
ounces.
And it is... I took out the thing, didn't I? Yeah, 5.6 ounces. It's the Aquarian.
Was this one of your club shipments?
This was my second club shipment. My third is not here yet, but it will be coming sometime next week. I'm super excited. So what you can't see is brown and then orange, which is kind of why this has been on the wheel for almost a month now. And that's really why, because it took me brown and orange, even though I'm wearing a brown sweater, are not like 2 of my super favorite colors.
They're not motivators to get you on the wheel.
No, so I spun this turquoise that I just started a little bit thicker. Anyway, so the yellow is what really motivated me this week, and
it
then
matches your shoes.
My shoes are green, but yeah,
but
it's
yeah,
close.
I mean it matches.
Oh my goodness, now you have to see my shoes. There you go.
They're Uggs.
They're Uggs.
She wears them
all the time in the winter.
If it's not those, it's the kangaroo ones that zip on the side.
My kangaroo shoes, yes.
Anyway.
I have Uggs in blue, purple, brown, and green. Anyway, so.
I've seen them all.
There you go. She has. I don't wear the brown that often because they're higher. They're like almost knee length. Anyway, so there's that.
That's pretty too.
And there's what's left of the bat.
Ooh, I like what you've got over there.
And then I taught a spinning class yesterday. And during that spinning class, I started spinning some Turanian, which is the puffy roving from Twisted Fiber Arts.
Oh, okay. Terrain.
Terrain? Yeah, there we go. Reading, I do get goods.
Huh. God, you have so much going on spinning-wise.
You know, I think 2012 was really the year of spinning. Because I counted yesterday, and how many ounces did I have done? 26. 26.
And I was like, that's more than 2 pounds. And then I was like, wait, no, it's not.
Math, we do as it goods. Now people are turning us off going, these Mississippi girls.
I swear. Blame the public education system.
Someone told me yesterday, this is the first time that this has ever happened to me in my life.
Yeah, that was
Because I'm not a native Mississippi person. I was born in Buffalo, New York. Batavia, New York, actually.
You've only been here since, what, 2006?
5.
Okay.
So I've lived in Mississippi since 2005. And I do have a southern accent, and I accept that fact. But this woman came into the yarn shop, and I was teaching spinning, and she's like, I can't understand words that you say. Because you speak Mississippian. And I was like, really?
Tact.
Okay. And then she was telling me how my words were 4 syllables versus 3 or something. I don't know. But there's the total sidebar. I've never had that happen before, so it took me a little bit aback. Although nothing that happens anywhere should take me aback, because that's the same yarn shop that someone asked me when the baby was due, and some other things over the course of the last couple of years. So nothing should take me aback.
Yeah. The thing with Southern women in general, and if you're a Southern woman, you can probably relate to what I'm saying, is that the familiarity and the friendliness that we have as our general demeanor can sometimes mistakenly give you relationship closeness that you think that you have with another person, that you can say certain things. And maybe it's not a Southern thing. Maybe it's just some people are that way, but
a generalized thing that some people are that way. But it's funny.
It's
always
definitely funny comments.
And then Mom finished spinning something, so I brought it to show it to y'all.
It's so pretty.
Because it's gorgeous. She got 370 yards from 8 ounces, and she still probably has 3 ounces on the leftover on the bobbins, from Unwind Yarn Companies in the Great Pumpkin and Gold Bug, I think. I think it was Gold Bug.
Were they two separate braids?
Separate braids that she spun together.
Cool.
She was trying out my sidekick.
Cool.
So, yeah. I love it. It's super squishy.
That is pretty.
I think it's gorgeous, and it's so my mom's colors.
Yeah, it is very much your
She's
mother.
had lots of not downtime since she spun this, because Wheezy, who's my father, had surgery last Thursday.
And he's fine.
He's fine. He, his rotator cuff was, no longer attached or something, so they had to go in and do surgery on his shoulder, and it turned out that he had a bone spur that had worn through not only that, but also the tendon that connects and the muscle that connects your
it was a bad situation.
There. So I guess it's really painful, and I feel bad for him, but he's also very bossy when he's sick.
Tell them about the app that he downloaded.
So he found some app or some noise that makes a the little bell ding thing.
Ding, 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 ding.
So, but now he just texts us. So he'll be downstairs and he'll text it. My mom will be upstairs trying to do something, quilt or something. She came home with lots of new fabric from Nashville. You'll have to come over and look. And lots of new patterns too. And she'll get text messages saying, I need you to make me food. Yeah. Make me some food, or bring me a cup of coffee, or unload the dishwasher. Because it's impossible, because he can't use, he's got his one arm in a sling.
Right.
Which has a ball on the end of it, which cracks me up.
Oh,
Because
really?
he's like, now I'm just going to throw the ball at you. I need something. He's got a big red ball on the end.
I love your dad. He's so funny.
He's so funny. He's a character. Y'all, I'm trying to get him to, they're driving to Michigan, I'm trying to get him to go through SSK, when we have SSK, but he's like, that's out of my way. Why would I do that?
Because then everybody could meet Wheezy. I think we need to start an online petition and then send him the link.
Speaking of online petitions, this is totally off track too. But I'll hide behind the fiber so you can be distracted by that. There is an online petition on the whitehouse.gov site that I have on my Facebook that is to attempt to get funding for public schools to keep libraries and librarians. So if y'all are interested in signing that, it's on my Facebook.
And she'll put it in the show notes.
And I'll put it on the show notes, because they need 25,000 signatures by February something, and they only had less than 20,000. So obviously I feel strongly about it, because that's my job.
Right.
So, but I also think it's important, now I've switched over to teacher mode, I think it's important for every child to have access to books.
I agree.
Regardless of their economic status.
Even though a lot of things are available on the internet here in Mississippi, I don't know what you would say, how your students, how many of them have access to the internet.
They have access
home.
at public libraries, but at home, very few have. I have kids that they don't have electricity.
Right, and the only meal they get is the one at school. And it's
so,
only because it's free, you know.
Yeah, so I mean, and the only books they might see are the ones that we provide for them at school. So I think it's important. It's something I feel passionate about.
And I think that if every one of our viewers went and signed that petition, it would be up in no time.
I think so too. Anyway.
So, if you have
Look at the pretty yarn. If you have a moment, I would appreciate it. Anyway.
So you have pretty fiber for what's next, right?
Yes, I'm going to...
I kind of want to steal this.
It's crinkly. Take it out. It is crinkly. So when we were in Kentucky at their fiber festival, we stopped by the lovely Kimber Baldwin Designs booth.
She's so nice.
Who does fiber optic yarns, and I purchased the gold fuchsia layered gradient, and this was the only pink and reddish gradient in my stash. And what I'm going to do with it is Diane of Knittables, her February SAL is a pattern that I've actually already purchased, which is the Susan Ashcroft Designs Love Train.
Is it a shawl?
It's a shawl. She's the person who did Hogwarts Express.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it's that same like garter top concept, and Hogwarts Express has the owls.
Right.
This has little like lace hearts.
Cool.
Type thing. So the pattern's not out yet, but I had purchased the 4 pattern booklet already.
Oh, I was going to say, how do you have it if it's not out?
So it should be out sometime in the next couple weeks. And so I'm going to spin that, I believe, and knit it into that. I think that'll be really pretty. I saw that pattern and I was like, a gradient would be gorgeous. So.
Yeah, but Fiber Optic has really tons of gradients to choose from. I love her gradients.
And that's a merino silk. Yeah, oh yeah, she's got gorgeous stuff.
And her fiber's all really well prepared, so.
That's it for me for spinning. Do you think that was enough?
Alright, so we have a book review, and because we've both been really busy this week, we both haven't had time to actually sit down and read. We have a couple of really great, like, instructional books to review, but we just haven't had time to sit down and truly read through them to give you guys good information.
And some of them have DVDs attached, so we want to sit and watch the DVDs.
So what we did instead was earlier today, we sat and looked through Vogue Stitchionary, which is specializing in edgings. So Vogue, and this is the 6th one, they've done tons of Stitchionaries, and they have really well taken photographs. So we just wanted to kind of go through. This has a lot of really good ideas, everything from cables to lace to beads to intarsia to color work it is in this book, so there's a ton of great stuff to pick from. It retails for, I want to say $20 something, $29.95 in hardback. It came out last year, I believe,
November 2011.
yeah. So and this was sent to us by 6th and Spring to review. So obviously this isn't, it's just stitches. So I'm just going to show you a few that were interesting for one reason or another. Here, let's see. So I like this zigzag rib. I think that's a cute idea to do something different for maybe the bottom of a cardigan. There's stuff with bobbles in here. I thought
Leslie goes through the bobbles really fast.
I thought this was pretty as well. Sort of a lacy shell edging. It could work for a cuff maybe, or the bottom of a shawl. Let's see what else. I mean, they have some of everything.
There's a ton of different ones.
They've got your standard picot edging, and they've got a couple of variations on the picot as well. They've got ruffles. I thought this was kind of a cute little ruffle here. This one's called the raspberry ruffle.
I think if you're interested in designing or modifying patterns, that this would be a great book to have.
I think everybody's got a little budding designer in there.
Oh yes,
so
most assuredly.
Or at least, check it out from the library. I thought this was a really cool edging. This woven.
That is neat.
It's got a neat texture to it. I like the way that it looks. It looks like it pulls in a little bit, but I like that they don't only knit the edging. I got to take the jacket off of that. that they don't only knit the edging, they knit a little bit above it so you can see how it affects the knitted item. So you can see that it pulls it in a little bit.
I also like the color they choose for most of the
And it's
swatches.
standard,
You
right.
can actually see.
I like the cables on reverse stockinette right here. I thought that was a neat way to add a little bit of flair to maybe a plain cardigan. If it's plain otherwise, you can add a little bit of flair at the cuff for maybe your go-to sweater. I thought that was a neat idea because it's an applied edging, but I thought that the holes would be neat for buttonholes.
Oh, that's cute.
So it's knit sideways, you know, from bottom to top, and I thought that the holes in the cables would be a neat spot for buttonholes. I have all these ideas in no time to actually do it. I know you guys don't know what that's like, right? Let's see. Obviously our cues. Laura thought this would be pretty for the edge of a shawl, and I have to agree. I think that that's really pretty. And like you can tell, there's a lot of different topics covered in here.
I like that with the color work. There is
it's
color
simple.
work.
Like it's garter, but you know, it's sort of a feather and fan, but with color work, it gives it that extra punch.
Just to put that at the end of like the bottom of a black or gray or something brown, and then just add that little pop, I think would be very pretty.
It would give you options for coordination as well for color. It's got Latvian braid in it, which is a really cool feature you can use in design work and color work. Let's see. This one,
that one's just weird.
I tabbed just because it was weird. It's called the Grafted Fringe, and make your own decision. But to me, it looked kind of weird.
It kind of looks like worms.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm sure there's a use for it. This made me think of, there was a washcloth pattern that was on Knitty years ago called Grr. And it made it, you added some embroidery and it made it look like a little animal. It was a little baby
lion.
washcloth. And
Yeah.
this is the same type of stitch. It's called a loop stitch. So, it gives instructions on how to do that. It's under the unusual stitches header.
Love it. Next to faux fur. Awesome. So we're up at over 203 different stitch patterns at this point.
I think that there's 240 in here. And let me check real quick. There are...
And now we're in crochet.
213, I'm sorry. Yeah, so this is crochet edgings. And Laura really liked this one.
Until I found out it was crochet.
It's not true crochet. The way that you do it, you use a crochet hook. And then there's this one, which is kind of random. You crochet the flowers and then add them on at the bottom. Which, you know, I'm sure that it's got its place. But, again, if you're a designer or you aspire to be a designer, this is definitely one I would at least check out from the library and see whether or not there's enough in here for you to purchase. But I probably would have purchased it even if it hadn't been sent for review because there's a lot of useful
I tend to collect Stitchionaries.
I do too, because you never know when you've got like this perfect idea and all you really need is that one stitch to kind of give it definition. So after I took a couple of cookie classes, I started collecting Japanese stitch books, which are almost exclusively charted. So it doesn't, I mean, I can't read Japanese obviously, but it doesn't matter because I can read a chart. So anyhow, that was from 6th and Spring, and
Very
it's
cool.
Stitchionary, the 6th one for Edgings. So, back on the spinning topic, our February Expand Your Spinning Horizons is Shetland.
It is, and we're going to actually do a separate video talking about different characteristics of Shetland, but we did get some Shetland.
Do you want to wait? Do you want to talk about the vendors first?
Okay, let's talk about the vendors, and then we'll show what we got. So, some people who have spoken up, there's a thread on our Ravelry group about where people are getting their Shetland from.
And if you're an independent dyer and you have Shetland in your shop, feel free to post a link there, and we'll mention you on the show.
Definitely. So, Wool Gatherings has a wide range of fiber, including Shetland. Crown Mountain Farms, which is the I'm spinning their Superwash Merino right now. That's what Touch Me is. The Sheep Company, which has a coupon for 10% off.
Shetland 10, I think is the coupon code.
Friday Studios, which has a 20% off coupon.
I saw their ad in our group. It's a really cute stuff.
Yes, it's super cute. Unwind Yarn Company. Spin Monkeys, and Karen String Creations with a K. So I'm not going to link all those in the show notes. I'm going to link to the group and that thread within the group where you can see links to all those people.
So everything's all in one place. So
everything's all in one place.
We got some stuff.
We purchased some items.
One thing before you show this one. We'd already decided to purchase from Corgi Hill Farms. And I found her randomly. She didn't advertise in the group or anything, but I found her and I thought, oh, that's pretty. So, it's Corgi Hill Farms. We both got 5 ounces of Shetland. Mine's in the Nymphaeas colorway.
Mine's in The Beach.
And mine's a pretty gradient. Made me happy. And Laura's is very beachy. It's with the white and the blue and the tones. It. So this was originally the only Shetland I had planned on spinning in February. And then somebody had a genius marketing
ploy.
I mean, really genius. And it from the point of view of the sheep and the story of the sheep. And she's just kind of getting her feet wet, she said. But that is the Sheep's Company. And it's thesheepscompany.etsy.com. And it's an ombre mix.
Yep. And it tells you the name of the sheep who provided your fiber. So mine is from Rachel and Sweetie.
Graciously provided by, I think mine's Sable and Sweetie. Yeah, Sable and Sweetie. So it's 5 ounces, each ounce in a gradient of, like mine's in brown and Laura's is in black and gray.
And I love how it's packaged. Mm-hmm. It's super cute. And it also came with a little lavender
sachet. Is it? Okay, yeah. So anyway, this is thesheepscompany.etsy.com. She has genius marketing. Because I totally already had Shetland and I'm like, yeah, I gotta buy some.
She also has a really pretty purple gradient.
Mm-hmm. And she has not just gradients. She also has, solids and other stuff. So check her out at thesheepscompany.etsy.com. And again, she's got a coupon code Shetland10. I don't know how long it lasts, but
it's very cute.
Try it out. Yeah,
very cute.
I'm looking forward to this as well. And I love that it's packaged, so you can just start from one end and go to the bottom. So that's cool.
Which one are you thinking of spinning first? And what wheel are you going to spin them on?
I'm going to spin them on the Sidekick, probably. Well, I might spin the Corgi Hill Farm, which just there it is. I might spin this one on the Sidekick, and then spin the Sheep's Company on the Matchless, because I'm going to spin this one first because this was what I ordered first, and but I have to finish my Tempted on the Matchless first before I spin the Sheep's Company. And she sent little goodies. I didn't even tell you this. But she sent little goodies, little coffee candies, which I don't like, so you can have. And then there's some kind of mandarin candy, which is mine. And then she sent a taste of another fiber. This is a BFL silk blend. I thought that was kind
pretty.
Of a cute idea.
I love that.
I like that she sends a little taste.
I like collecting tastes and then course spinning with them.
Scheme.
Yeah, like course spun monster scheme.
So, anyhow, let's see. Well, so now that we've talked tons and tons about spinning, I'm sorry if we're kind of dragging on. If you're not a spinner, come to the dark side. We have pretty fiber.
There are some yarn companies that do utilize Shetland. Mm-hmm. Like Jameson is probably one of the most famous that has Shetland as one of their makeups. So if you want to knit along, you can always buy some Jameson or other Shetland yarn and knit along with us.
And we're not doing, it's not for prizes, it's not for any of that. It's just to kind of expand our knowledge of the fiber that we use, right? Because I'm used to merinos, I'm used to Polworths and other really fine wools. So I'm looking forward to kind of using things that are a little more out of the box and seeing how they work for different things. So
it's going to be fun. We also were graciously given some yarn from Ladybug Fiber Company.
Yeah, and there was a great hunt for this before we started recording because I couldn't find it, and it ended up that I'd left it in Laura's car. Now if I can find it again. Here it is.
So,
ladybugfiber.etsy.com.
I've been eyeing their stuff for a while because they do yarns that are named after plants, and I used to do landscaping, so it's kind of one of those things that really could touch, it had that connection with me. How about that? So mine is self-striping. It's the Crepe Myrtle colorway, and Meg and Sherry, who run Ladybug, were so nice to send some for us, and this is actually wound because it's going to be my next pair of socks.
But that's not the whole 4 ounces, right?
No.
Okay.
Because, they had it awesomely tied, like 4 ties and pretty, and I'm retarded at winding skeins, so...
At least they're kind of even, though.
I know. I think it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
I ended up...
She meant to do it that way. That's what it was.
Yeah. You know how when you start doing something and you're like, oh, I'll just tuck it under this loop and I'll just do that, and it was all me.
Tragedy.
All me.
So yours is a self-striping and mine is not. Mine is called Hellebore, which I may be completely pronouncing that wrong, but it's an 80% merino, 20% nylon blend, and it's 400 yards, which I'll probably knit a shawl out of this one just because I love the way that the colors work together. Nice pinks and greens.
I love their colors.
So,
really pretty stuff.
I'm not certain when I'll start on it because I have lots of stuff I need to do. But
and they actually gave us a coupon code too.
Oh.
I forgot to write that down for our viewers, and I'll put that in the show notes.
Cool.
Because I can't remember off the top of my head if
Is it like free shipping? Or?
It was either free shipping or a percentage off,
Cool.
but I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm so sorry.
That's nice.
But yeah, y'all get a code too, so I'll put that in the show notes. I'll try to put that as soon as it goes up tonight.
That's a good plan.
Yeah. I'm filled with awesome plans.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions, right?
Getting them actually done, whole nother story.
So we discovered a cool feature, and Laura heard it from somewhere. I don't remember where.
One of the podcasting groups, someone was talking about getting a Roku box.
Oh, that's right. And Laura offered technical help, y'all. Seriously, technical help. And she was totally right.
And I told her she could watch video podcasts on Blip TV if people had turned on their... It's one of those things that you have to turn on.
Right.
It's not something that you can just...
If you watch video podcasts, most of the video podcasts that I've seen use Blip as an uploader or as a host. So when you upload to Blip, depending on your account, you have the ability to auto send it to different places like iTunes, YouTube, other places. Like there's a Blip channel. If you have a Roku box, which is a little box that allows you to watch Netflix and Amazon Instant Video and like the baseball channels and all kinds of crazy stuff. And there was a Blip channel where you could search for your favorite podcasts, and your podcasters had to have that enabled where it would send it, right? But you could search for them. Well, Laura heard about an iTunes channel on there.
Yep, this lady told me that there was an iTunes channel, and so there is, and you can go and either listen to or watch if you have a Roku box.
On the big screen.
Yeah.
Which is
really cool.
The only thing is that normally if you have a Roku box, you can add channels on the Roku itself. I wasn't able to do that, but if you you can go online and search for it. It's a privately done thing. I'll send Laura the link.
Okay.
And we'll put it in the show notes, and you can add it online to your Roku account online. You have to create a Roku account when you set up your box, so you have a Roku account even if you don't know you do. And you can add it then, and then you just refresh it, and it shows up. It worked great for us last night when we were watching podcasts. So.
Yep, we had a great time.
It's a really cool feature if you have a Roku box, and if you do Apple TV, I think you already could watch podcasts on your TV.
Most definitely.
But I don't have it, so I'm like out of breath from talking so fast.
So we had a viewer many moons ago. We did a question, and that
Ask
thread's
the Knit
still
Girls, right?
Ask the Knit Girls. And I keep meaning, this was all my fault, I kept meaning to bring over some of my first knitting so we could talk about how we got started knitting and some of our first knitting. And I don't actually have any of my first when I was wee, because I started knitting, my mom taught me when I was 8 on a pair of socks, which I don't think those socks ever got finished. I think maybe one got finished.
I wonder if there's still a needle somewhere.
Who knows? Who knows? But I did bring over my first pair of socks.
So talk about what enabled you to restart.
So I had already started re-knitting when I was in college as a way to stay out of trouble. And and then we moved to Memphis. And when I was in North Carolina, I knit tons and went to the yarn shop that was in Black Mountain and had a great time. And we moved to Memphis, and Stash, which is that point was another yarn shop. What was the name of it? No, I can't even remember.
Can't remember.
Anyway, Beth was offering a socks class, and my sister had called me and said, I know how to knit socks. And I said, you do not. You're a liar. And she was like, no, really. I bet you I can knit socks.
Competitive much?
Yeah. I know how to knit socks. And I was like, Becky's 5 years younger than me, y'all. I don't know if y'all knew that. And I was like, she can knit socks. Well, I'm going to learn how to knit socks. So I took a sock knitting class, and it was from the toe up. And Using Mountain Colors yarn.
Looks like a worsted.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think it was their sock weight. Because their sock... I don't know. Anyway, using Mountain Colors yarn from the toe up with a short row heel. And you can see that my first socks are very, very wonky.
You need a close-up of those toes.
And they will never, ever be worn because the lady who taught me the class, Beth, who's real sweet, told me, oh yeah, 42 stitches will totally fit your feet. No. I typically cast on 64 when I knit, or 56, depending on the yarn. But yeah, you can see how it goes in and out and in and out.
Let me see one of them. I want to see if they fit on my blockers.
And the short row heel.
But the heel doesn't look very
tiny
deep to me.
And you can tell I sewed around it because I had huge holes.
Look at that.
And yeah.
So
these were my first pair of socks that will never fit a human being ever.
So are you saying that competitiveness with your sister kind of kick-started?
That kicked me into the sock knitting, and y'all know I've never looked back with socks since then. I don't do short row heels. They're not my favorite. I just don't like the way they fit my feet.
Yeah.
But my first, 10 pairs were toe up using a figure 8 cast on. That lovely cast on right there.
Nice. It's no Judy's Magic cast on.
And the figure 8 cast on's really, it's not a bad cast on if you can do it correctly. And some, and it was on weird increases on 2 circulars, and just weird, and there's a hole right there, I think. Some weirdness in general. So this was my first pair of socks, and they actually still live in my sock drawer.
Just because.
And they live at the bottom. I had to dig down to get them. You can tell, really well woven in ends.
You left a lot there.
And just lots of fun, so. Now I'm thinking I could cut them and make it like you. That wouldn't work.
No, I probably wouldn't use wool socks for that. But, so it's funny because how I got into knitting is a very similar competitive story. Our friend Alicia, who was the other L in the Knit Girls originally, she started, I think I must have been 25 or so, something like that, 25 or 26. And she came over to my house once, and she had, from Yarniverse, which is a local shop, she had gone and gotten this big, thick, chunky, it might have been the same yarn that you used for that shrug bug.
Like the Magnum?
Big, thick, huge, bulky weight yarn, and maybe size 15 or 13 needles, and was knitting the scarf. And I was like, oh, I don't know how to knit. I know how to crochet, but it's been a long time because my mom used to crochet. And I was like, she can do it. I'm going to learn how to do it. And I'm sure Alicia's watching this going, yep, that's her. But I was like, damn it, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it well. And so I just I didn't look back from there. But I brought a couple of the first things that I knit. I didn't knit socks for a while. So I don't really, the first socks that I knit actually didn't turn out bad at all. So,
there's that.
So I was lucky there. But, I'd gotten some yarn from
Lisa Souza?
Lisa Souza. I was thinking, what's that?
Because when I first met you, all her stash was Lisa Souza. That's the only person she had was Lisa Souza.
Because Lisa Souza lets you go online and choose your base, and she'll dye it to order essentially. And that was the coolest thing in the world for me at that time. So I made this little baby bolero in these kind of
cute
Easter vomit colors.
I like it.
And I've got this crazy big loop here. I don't know what happened. I don't know what that is right there. I have no idea what happened there. Something weird happened there. I'm trying to see. I actually didn't have gutters, which is weird. Not too bad. Anyway. So yeah, this was my first non-flat thing. Although it looks like it was flat and I seamed it up. Oh, I got a hole. Random hole. It's never been given to anybody or worn. I think once I finished it, I was like, that's really atrocious. I don't think I'm going to do anything with that. So that was one of the first things. And then the other was a set of a hat that's too shallow for any human person to ever wear, right?
What yarn was that? Do you remember?
It was Malabrigo. Something.
Twist, maybe?
It wasn't a superwash.
It looks like twist.
It could be.
Because it's plied.
Yeah, this was, I'm pretty sure it was Malabrigo. I could be wrong though. Anyhow, so it's too shallow to fit a human. I mean, it might fit a baby, but it's too big for a baby. So the depth is all crazy wrong. And then, that's nice. It's like a
skull cap.
What's the thing that the Jewish men wear? I can't remember. Yarmulke?
Yarmulke.
Yeah. It's like an oversized yarmulke because it doesn't fit well. And then this was just a seed stitch scarf, which has got like random holes. Don't know what happened there. Let's see. I got fancy and did a diamond pattern.
Aww. I like it.
On the edges, and then more random holes. I think I must have had moths get to this or something in my old house that I lived in. But yeah, it's been in a bag in the bottom of my closet for forever. But never saw the light of day, never wore it. So, yeah, I haven't always had very good taste. But
I think that's pretty. I think it's just...
Such is the way.
Yeah. I like the colors.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty yarn.
But, no, this was not Malabrigo. This was another Lisa Souza. This was Mars something. Lisa Souza and Mars Attacks or Mars something. Sorry, I'm shedding stuff all over the place. So, yeah, those are our less than fantastic beginnings in knitting.
Oh, yeah.
But we all start somewhere.
Yeah, and I think people are... Like, there's the beginner, intermediate, advanced type thought, but I think with different projects, you're a different level.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
I'm a much better sock knitter than I am a sweater knitter, obviously.
I think that goes for the both of us.
I think I'm definitely on the beginner end of the sweater spectrum, but I would put myself more towards the advanced side of the sock spectrum. So... And more of the intermediate for lace, but not the advanced. So I think it just depends on the type of project you're doing, whether you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced.
Okay, we are blathering on today. So the next thing we wanted to talk about is the TheKnitGirll's Afghan Square Swap. I meant to bring over mine, but I forgot them. Is going to start again. I think Megan Moa is getting ready to put out the questionnaire sometime in the next couple days. So the general idea is that you knit one square for yourself and one for your partner.
Or just one for your partner.
At least one for your partner over a 2-month span and get it mailed out. I think that the first one's going to be February to March. So you have to have it mailed out by like the middle of that last month, so March 15th or something.
She has changed the rules. If you have outstanding squares from last round, you cannot participate in this round.
Completely fair in my opinion.
So get those squares out.
Yeah, if you haven't. And so the idea is that you get enough squares to seam them together and make yourself a blanket without having to do all of the work of actually
knitting all those squares.
The squares, yeah.
Yep.
So Laura's got a ton, so I don't know if she's going to do this round or not. But I have
24 squares, so I don't know if I'm gonna.
I think I've only got 12 or 14, so I probably will participate again this round, because it's fun.
Oh, it's lots of fun.
It gives you a break from what you're working on to do a square, and it doesn't take long. A couple days
new blanket,
to do a square. Yeah, that's true. You should seam your blanket.
I should. And just have you crochet it together.
Yeah.
I have to find a good color to seam it with.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, because mine is blues and purples and greens, so
I'll mine's a lot of jewel tones as well.
Yeah, very cool.
Look for the details on that on the TheKnitGirll's board on Ravelry sometime in the next week or so. And PM Moa directly if you have any questions.
Yep.
And congratulations on your little baby.
Yay, she's got a little baby girl.
Yeah, the picture, her Ravatar is super cute.
I agree.
So that's it unless you're going to SSK.
Yep.
Then we'll see you next week. But if you're going to SSK, be looking in your mailboxes for a note from us either tonight or tomorrow. We're going to send out a note to each one of you guys, and it'll link you to the questionnaire for remain assignments and other goodie bag related things on the website. And like I said, you'll get that from us in the next couple days.
Yep.
Anything else? Have you finished your 3rd row?
I finished 1 row.
Oh, okay. So you're on the 4th row now.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Yeah, it's taking you about an hour for 2 rows. Because we're at about an hour now.
Yep, and I have that much left to go. So, yep.
Well, that's it for this week. Next time we see you, it'll be February.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So until then, have a good week.
Bye y'all.